Welcome to What's Cool in School here in Rutherford County. Our school up this week, Central Magnet High School. Let me note right off the bat that U.S. News and World Report has ranked Central Magnet High School as the #1 high school in the state of Tennessee and in the top 20 nationally. Not just this year, but this has been ongoing for a while. This is what it continues to rank as. Well, today we're going to learn just a little bit about Central Magnet High School. We're going to learn more about their robotics program, their writing lab, and also a very special advisory program they have going on inside of these walls. So stick with us as we learn what's cool in school at Central Magnet High School. Welcome back. So as you know, we're at Central Magnet High School and we are highlighting a nationally known robotic program that is right here. We have Mark Guthrie, who is over the robotics program, also the teacher for engineering here at Central Magnet. First off, thanks for sitting down with me.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for being here and talking to us.
Talk about a wonderful program to have for your students. How long has this been going, and then what are some of the accomplishments that you guys are known for?
We started a program when Central opened up in 2010. A lot of our students moved in from McFadden, and we naturally, this was a great place to start, a STEM school with math and science background, kids who are interested in programming, all that type of stuff. We started with Best Robotics, and we went to national championships, world championships. Did really, really well with that program. Felt like we had succeeded everywhere we could with that, and moved into First Robotics. Our first year we went to the world championships with First Robotics as a rookie team. No? we didn't do very good, but it was a good experience for us to see where we needed to be.
Okay.
Because you have teams from all over the world that go to that competition.
So what does that entail? So you say First Robotics and then Best Robotics. What goes into that?
Best Robotics was a smaller program that was mostly, well, for us as the Southeast. We competed against teams from anywhere from North Carolina to Tennessee, Virginia, Florida, the Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, and Mississippi. And we did really well with that program, but needed to step it up. And so we joined First Robotics, which is a worldwide program. Dean Kamen, the guy who invented the Segway, he started First Robotics about 20 years ago to get kids involved in STEM things that would make them want to do engineering as a career. And so we started with First Robotics here. After we did 4 or 5 years with Best, again, we did really, really well with Best. I don't want to brag, but we did. We have some awards up here that show we did really well.
This is your chance to brag, so you brag all you want.
What we're looking for is every year we have a different game to display. They develop a new scenario. And so every year the robot has to do something different. It might be throwing frisbees, it might be placing balls on rings, it might be, oh gosh, it could be shooting basketballs, it could be whatever it is. For us, we do a smaller scale. It's a 12 by 12 arena that we compete on. We do that contest. We also do a contest called Robot Drone League, which is local. I say local, it's more regional, that East Tennessee State sponsors. A group called Streamworks sponsors that one. We started that one 3 years ago, and we are 2-time national champion with that one.
Congratulations.
So, did pretty well with that. Our little sign in the background back there shows that we are the Championship Alliance. That one also has, this year it's mine shafts. They try to, each group, whether it be First or Robot Drone League or Best, they try to pick something that's in the media, environmental concern, and you build a robot around that environmental concern. This year it's mine's for Robot Drone League. For First, it will be the oceans.
I'm curious to how special it is to have a program like this in a high school, because I mean, is this robotics? Is that something that's common at high schools, or is it kind of special to?
It's hard to get teachers who are willing to jump in and try it because they're afraid. I guess they're afraid they're going to fail. I mean, we fail every day.
But there's never really failure.
No, there's
you're
not.
Always working towards
we're
something.
failing forward.
Right.
We're failing forward to get to the next step, and we're gonna mess something up, and they know they're gonna mess something up, and we're gonna have to try to fix it and make it better and better. I wish we had more participation within the county. I'd love to. I know the middle schools do a really good job with robotics. I'd just like to see it move to the high school.
Well, Mark, share with me how many students are now participating in robotics, because that number has jumped up.
It has. Our first year we started a class, which was 3 years ago. We had 10 students in robotics. Last year we were at 17. Now we're at 34. A lot of our juniors and seniors are seeing the joy in doing robotics and thinking about engineering careers, so they're jumping in there. We have, I guess, 4 or 5 freshmen this year who are taking robotics, which is that's the core group we want. We want the freshmen and sophomores taking our class so they go through 2 and 3 years of learning and training.
You know, it's our teachers and our educators. They're seeing your students day in and day out. They see how hard those students work. What is that like for you, and what do you hear from your students once they do their classwork, they get this together, they go to a competition, and then they succeed? They either make the mark there or, they win best or win first. What do you see from them? What is that like?
It gives them the confidence for the next level. They go to the next level. In college, they're the ones leading their teams. In business, they're the ones that are leading the teams because they're not afraid to jump out and talk to people.
Right.
The students have to talk to adults. They have to do everything themselves. I can't, when we go to a competition, I sit up in the stands and I sit back and watch it all happen. I don't do anything to bother the students. It's all on them. And they're the ones that have to lead themselves, have to, again, talk to adults, have to be the ones who are their own advocates. If there's a problem, go talk to the judge. I'm not doing it for you. And those skills they learn in high school just multiply as they get older in college and in the workplace.
Mark Guthrie, not only the robotics teacher here in Over Engineering, but I'm sure the students' biggest cheerleader when it comes to that competition.
I am.
Is there anything I didn't ask that you would want to share that we need to know?
No, just come out. November 2nd, we have a contest here at Central for the Robot Drone League. If you want to see drones fly and robots flying around, elementary, middle school, high school, all is going to be here. It's Tennessee State Championship. We'd love to have you here at Central. And then MTSU in late February, they'll host their first robotics championship. And we'd love to see you there as well.
Incredible. So that's November 2nd and then in February at MTSU. Please note that down. Make sure that you have that marked. And then last question for you, where can we learn more about the robotics program here at Central?
We have a robot club page that is updated that you can check information out about there. I'll make sure to put our dates as we get them coming in there. Biggest thing is show up November 2nd. Come see what we're all about and volunteer, whatever you'd like to do. We'd love to have you here.
Wonderful. Mark Guthrie, thank you so very much. Again, I don't know what's cooler than this almost when we talk about what's cool in school. Here at Central Magnet High School, stick with us. We're going to touch on the riding program here when we come back.
I'm Dr. Webb. I'm the owner and operator of Webb Aesthetic Plastic Surgery here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We offer services for both men and women, breast, body, and face for both.
I meet with patients who are ready to schedule surgery. We talk about their pre-op appointments, what to expect before surgery, what to expect during and after surgery.
We graduated medical school and nursing school the same day, and I had things that I believed in and stood by that I wasn't willing to compromise on. So when he came home, we had to discuss that we were on the same page with how we treated patients and staff. We want them to feel like they're part of our family.
He's an after-luncher. He's a football game half-timer.
All right, boys, it's time.
She's a coffee breaker. Oh, careful.
I've got this.
She's a whenever I can get 5 minutes-er. Whenever you like to bank, Ascend's app has you covered. Transfer funds, apply to loans, do banking stuff.
I'm a banking person-er. Is that okay?
Yep, come on in. Ascend Federal Credit Union.
The Academy has been voted Best of Parenting since 2008 and the Best Child Care Music Study. That 2008 is a big number. Come learn and play now.
We offer services for both men and women, breast, body, and face for both.
People come to plastic surgery offices because they want to improve something that they feel is a flaw in themselves.
About 10 years ago, our men's procedures were probably about 10% of what we did. Nowadays, it's more like 30 or 40%. Eyelid lifts, liposuction, and we even do hair transplants here.
We are part of the community, and we want to be able to walk around and see faces in the community that we've made happy.
Welcome back. I tell you, it's been a minute since I've been sitting behind one of these. We are now highlighting the wonderful writing program here at Central Magnet High School. The teacher over that program, Elizabeth Eubanks. First off, Elizabeth, thank you for letting me sit down in your classroom.
Yes, ma'am.
I find that your program is unique. We were just chatting just a little bit about it, but though you were over the program, the students do the teaching.
Yes, so the writing lab, the way it is structured is I have upperclassmen, so juniors and seniors from Central Magnet apply to be tutors in the writing lab, and then they enroll as a class, and for the month of August, we focus on like what should a tutoring session be like, how can we best help the student population. We collaborate with the MTSU Writing Lab as well to do professional development with them, and then usually at the end of August, right around Labor Day, we open up for appointments for the entire student body. And so they can come in for peer tutoring with one of those upperclassmen who are tutors in the class to get help with any kind of writing assignment, grammar remediation, college essays, resumes, all sorts of stuff. And presentations, we work a lot with our seniors on their thesis projects too.
Is this more beneficial, this setup? Because again, this is the first time I think I've heard of, it being set up in a peer way. Do you find it more beneficial for both those junior, seniors, and the underclassmen?
Absolutely. My juniors who end up working with the seniors on their senior thesis chapters, when they get to their senior year, their product that they produce as a senior thesis is phenomenal. And I think it's really great to see the tutors learn how to do things, because we'll have clients come in with questions and they don't always know the answer because none of us are perfect. And so they'll look up the answer, they'll figure it out together. And so the peer teaching really helps them improve themselves as well. And then they learn how to kind of help other people. And that's such a great skill for life.
Now, does every student sit in this writing lab? Do they all have to go through this particular classroom, or no?
So all of our seniors for the senior thesis do come in for required writing lab appointments. Our lower grades, teachers can assign the writing lab as an enrichment or a remediation. And then we'll have students who just seek us out for help with things not even related to school, which is super fun.
I can imagine, I'm sure that's kind of rewarding for someone to reach out to you to be like, hey, I need help with this. For those, what's the most challenging thing for a younger student when coming into a writing lab here?
Well, it's always vulnerable. Like to put your writing out in front of, not necessarily a teacher because you're used to that dynamic, but putting your writing in front of a peer can be really challenging because you don't want them to think poorly of you. And your writing is also very personable, even if it's not something that you necessarily have a whole lot of buy-in to. Like a college essay is so personal. Having one of your peers read it can be very nerve-wracking, and that vulnerability for all of the ages is something we actually talk about with the tutors and practice, like how do we help them feel more at ease and what kind of tone do we want to set in the room and all of that. So.
For those of us watching, what do you suggest? How do you set that tone? How do you make someone at ease when sharing something so personal?
I think just knowing that we are not perfect ourselves and we don't have all the answers, and we're there to be a sounding board more than the keeper of the knowledge, and that it's truly collaborative. And sometimes just starting off with some small talk and like, how's your day going? And then asking about the assignment and asking the client or student who's coming in what they want to get from the appointment. Like, what do you want to focus on? What's your ultimate goal here? Where do you feel you need the most help? And so by being really responsive to those student needs, then the tutors are best able to use their time and the client feels heard.
I'm curious about the verbiage of client versus student.
I kind of teach my students that this is like a job. And a lot of my tutors have gone on to work in writing labs at the collegiate level, which is super cool. And so we use that verbiage because they're all students and it gets confusing just like talking in class. And so the students who are enrolled in the writing lab class, I call tutors, and the students who are coming in for additional help are clients, but a tutor can be a client. Frequently, they'll schedule appointments with each other and sit there and like collaborate and brainstorm, and it's super fun to watch.
Any wise words for those watching that, want to, put a pen to paper, pencil to paper, and just get a little nervous about it, especially sharing it?
You can always improve anything. You can't improve a blank paper unless you put the pen down and start writing.
I like that very much. You can always improve anything. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you would like to share?
No, I think we covered a lot.
What a beautiful program here. Elizabeth Eubanks here at Central Magnet High School over the Writing Lab. What a program that you have. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay, we have more coming up here from Central Magnet High School. You do not want to miss out when hearing about their advisory program. We'll be right back.
Ascend was started at Arnold Air Force Base in 1951 by 8 members. We now have 28 locations all over Middle Tennessee, and we serve over 243,000 members. We're a not-for-profit, which means that all of our profits in some way go back to our members and to the communities that we serve. We currently work with Operation Stand Down, the Children's Hospital with Vanderbilt, Second Harvest, and MTSU. We were really proud last year to introduce 2 new products. We have the interest earning checking account and the rewards checking account. The interest earning checking account earns 3.56% APY on up to $15,000, and the rewards checking account earns you rewards with every debit card swipe that you do on the checking account. We have introduced ITMs to all of our branches. They do everything that a teller can do, except they do it through a video screen. So they can do loan payments, they can do withdrawals, deposits, all of that good stuff that everybody needs to do every day. We would love to have you at Ascend Federal Credit Union. Stop by a branch, open up an account, or talk to our financial advisors, or you can visit our website, ascend.org.
He's an after-luncher. He's a football game half-timer.
All right, boys, it's time.
She's a coffee breaker. Oh, careful. I've got this. She's a whenever I can get 5 minutes-er. Whenever you like to bank, Ascend's app has you covered. Transfer funds, apply to loans, do banking stuff.
I'm a banking person-er. Is that okay?
Yep, come on in. Ascend Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back. Building relationships and making sure that every student is not only seen but heard. Well, that is a focus here at Central Magnet High School. To share more on what this means and how it's done, we have Jessica Pinson. She is a teacher, a Spanish teacher here at Central Magnet. She is also a teacher with the advisory program. First off, thanks so much for your time.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here.
I have to ask, why is a program like this so valuable, and what is an advisory program?
I was going to say, if you don't mind for me to take just a second to explain what an advisory program is. We have the unique opportunity here at Central. We begin in 6th grade and we go all the way through 12th. And so we developed, when we opened in 2010, they decided to have a advisory program, which is a lot like a mentorship program. But we meet once a week with a set group of kiddos that ranges anywhere from 15 to 20 kids. And so you get to start with them when they're 10, 11, 12 years old, and you get to watch them graduate when they're 18, which is a really phenomenal way for us to, like you said, make sure that each one of those kiddos is seen, heard, encouraged, built up. We get to become a part of the things that interest them. I've enjoyed 2 whole rounds of those kiddos going through and just being a part of the things that, like whether it be extracurriculars or sports, getting to know their families, their likes, their dislikes, and it's just really neat. It's a great relationship to be able to build a better, more positive atmosphere here.
Before we talk on that bond that is created, as a teacher, I'm sure you've seen a school and students without an advisory program. What is that difference that you've seen in those students?
I do think that when a student has a place to come every single week, they've got the same face they're seeing for 7 years straight. They know that they can feel safe there, they can trust them. I know for us, we bring in a whole bunch of food because
they like that, I'm sure.
Well, and I mean, right, if you think about even your own personal family, right, we bond over sitting there and sharing food and just getting to know each other and laughing. And so I think that when our students can see and recognize another face in the hallway, and it's not necessarily even a teacher of a class they take, it's just one other place that they know that they can just kind of run to if they need that encouragement.
Do you see that the students in each group, that their bond deepens?
It's really kind of neat. So we go in alphabetical order, which means that it's those kids that are always sitting beside you right in your classes, because everybody always gets put in alphabetical order. But the beautiful thing about it, I think, is that those students aren't always going to be the best of friends, right, in a normal setting. But when you put them in an advisory group for so long, they're able to build those lifelong relationships. And so it's really just, the first group that I had go through, they're now having babies, which is crazy, but it's neat to see them even as adults continuing those relationships.
Do you have something that stands out to you that you've heard from a student that either is going through the program now or that has graduated, one of those getting ready to have babies, that kind of talk to you or go back to you to say, thank you for this? Does anything stick out?
I do love when I'm able to get a postcard in the mail or a letter, or even it's a lot of times it's in emails now because that's where I'm at. I just watched it all changed. But I think more than anything, what means the most to me, and probably to answer that question, is that I do still get the messages that say, hey, I'm having a baby, or hey, I'm getting married, hey, I'm graduating with my doctorate. And those are the sorts of things that still show me that what we poured into them in those formative years when they were preteen, teenagers, graduating high school, becoming adults, when they still reach back out to me, I think that shows that hopefully what we're doing here is we're reaching what we're trying to do here, I guess. So,
as a teacher in the advisory program, I feel like this question, I feel like you can answer this fully and wholeheartedly. What makes Central Magnet High School unique and special?
Ooh, I think there's a lot of things that make us very unique and special, but I think more than anything, we have wonderful kids. I think kids are wonderful no matter where you go. Kids are kids, right? But I think the beautiful thing here is that we are doing our absolute best to make sure that they are a full student. So there is academics, and we love our academics. We want to see them succeed. We have, they all have high test scores and things of that nature. But I think more importantly is that you've got this well-rounded child that has great character, that knows how to do social skills, that can interact with someone that maybe they don't necessarily always know, and they're getting out of here able to tackle the world from all sides. A well-rounded kid.
For someone who's seeing this, they're like either their kid's going to start going here and they're like, we'd like to know a little bit more about this advisory program, or if there's another school out there that's like, you know what, that sounds phenomenal, we should do it.
Yeah.
Where do they get the information?
So when our kiddos apply, when they get ready to apply, whether it be incoming sixth grader or whatever year they might start, there is a lot of information that's given out to them in the application and then on open house night and orientation. So they come in here kind of having a great idea of what's kind of in store for them. I do think if another school were to reach out and want to do that, we have phenomenal leaders over our advisory program. And there's part of our website that actually has all that information, the contact information for our teachers that are leading that program up, Mr. Harper, Mr. Nichols, and things like that.
Jessica Pinson, thank you so very much for your time. Jessica, again, a Spanish teacher here at Central Magnet High School and also a teacher with the advisory program. So much that we have learned about this school. We're going to share a little bit more with you at the end of today's show, so stick right here. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Webb King. I am the nurse injector, office manager here at Webb Aesthetic Plastic Surgery Med Spa. We have been open for a little over 10 years now. My favorite thing about working here is just making people feel better about themselves. Most often they come in with something that they are insecure about, and giving them the confidence to not feel that way changes their lives, which changes our lives too. It's almost indescribable to see someone walk in and then walk out with a different demeanor, a different confidence. You can see before and after pictures, even the undergarments that they wear in the first picture versus the second picture, or just the smile on their face, or the way they will open their eyes and look at you when they wouldn't when they walked in the door the first time.
He shoots, and he scores!
Hello, I'm Monty Hale, sports editor of the Murfreesboro Post, here to talk about some good things going at Central Magnet School. And when we think of Central Magnet School, obviously we think of academics, one of the top schools of its kind in the country. They play athletics as well, and they do it very well. Matter of fact, a couple of years ago, every one of their fall sports teams made the state tournament. Matter of fact, they won the Rutherford County All Sports Trophy for their efforts that year. We'll start out with some girls' action here of late. Their soccer team picked up a 5-0 win over Warren County last week. The volleyball dropped a 3-1 match to Smyrna. Girls golf, very good golf team. Matter of fact, certainly candidates for qualifying for the state tournament as a team and individuals. They defeated Stewart's Creek 148 to 195. Lauren Powell shot a 70, and Anna Powell shot a 78. So impressive numbers by those young ladies. Upcoming schedules: the girls soccer will play Marshall County and Giles County this week. Their district tournament begins the week of October 7th, and the region tournament is the week before that. Volleyball, again, Giles County, and then they'll play Summertown, a very good program. Girls cross country, Jay Wyndham and Lacey Now are the coaches of that outstanding program. They're at the Southern Showcase this Friday and Saturday, and so are the boys. And when you look at Central Magnet and cross country, really over the last several years, it's been them and Signal Mountain. They're big rivals. Yeah, you even have rivals in cross country. They run a lot of meets together. They know each other, and so it's always great to beat your friends because you sure don't want to lose to them. So that's really become a great one. Boys golf, they'll play against Riverdale on Tuesday and Oakland on next Tuesday. That'll be at Old Fort. Their district tournament is also scheduled for September 24th at Cedar Crest. In boys cross country, again, they're also at the Southern Showcase. All right, now we talked about their sports. Let's talk about their sports and their athletics. Ooh, it would have taken me a couple semesters to get some of these GPAs, but here goes. On the academic side, girls cross country, this is their average GPA. It's 3.90. Boys cross country is 3.81. Girls soccer, 3.95. Boys soccer, 3.79. Boys golf, 3.70. Girls golf, 3.93. Cheer, 3.90. Bowling, 3.85. Girls basketball, 3.94. Boys basketball, 3.94. Baseball, 3.78. Softball, 3.86. Boys tennis, 3.94. Girls tennis, 3.90. Boys track, 3.84. Girls track, 3.89. And swimming, 3.88. So obviously, all these young athletes, they know what they want to do with their life, but they also enjoy playing sports. And as I said, at the outside, they do a great job doing it. I'm Monty Hale, sports editor of the Murfreesboro Post.
Read this week's Murfreesboro Post, both online and in print, for all the latest news about Rutherford County high school sports.
Now, a word from the principal.
Well, we feel like Central is a special place. We do everything we can to ensure that our students have a great experience here and are prepared for the next level. People often ask what makes Central so successful. That's easy. It's our teachers, our students, and our parents. We all work together to ensure the child's best education, and they all work extremely hard to get the most out of everything.
There is quite a bit of history here on the grounds at Central Magnet High School. There has been an educational institution right here since the 1800s. A big thank you to Central Magnet High School for allowing us to come inside of its doors to highlight the cool things happening at the school here. I'd also like to share one more thing. Students already taking the ACT, 10 of those students from Central Magnet High School, well, they have scored a perfect score on the ACT. Congratulations. Well, join us next week as we highlight what's cool in school here in Rutherford County.